Hello.
Hi there.
Another week, 3 more movies.
It's going by so quickly. We are in June now at time of recording.
Oh, yeah. Man, that's weird.
Is it safe to say we are in the new Oscars season?
No.
When does award season officially start? Does it have an official start?
I usually say the fall.
I'm so traumatized from this past death racing that I am just PTSD and I'm constantly stuck in, is this gonna be nominated for Best Picture? I hope so.
That's fair because
I must ask it of every movie now.
the Cannes Film Festival just happened, and I think we're staying on top of things, so by the time the Oscar noms come out, we should have a pretty decent head start.
We've got a good system down.
We do. And we watched one new release.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say I don't think it's gonna get nominated for Best Picture.
You don't know that. You don't know. You don't know what my views on it are. You don't.
We watched Ready or Not, Here I Come. I watched the first one forever ago in the movie theater. It was a blast. It feels like it's been a really long time for a sequel to just drop. I do think that's very odd whenever that happens. But I enjoyed the first one, I enjoyed this one, so I'm not too mad about it.
Yes, this was my first entry in the Ready or Not franchise. I thought this movie was related to Ready Player One.
Oh no.
Not the same movie as I understand it, but I was a little concerned going in with this being a sequel. I had not seen the original. I'd be kind of fish out of water a little bit. Not at all. It brings you right up to speed.
Yeah, they did a good job explaining things. She was on the stretcher going to the hospital and having these flashes while they're doing the clear thing on her heart.
Yes, we pick up, it looks like from the ending of the last movie right away.
Yes.
She is walking out of this burning house, having defeated her in-laws in the first movie. It's picked up and things do not improve from there.
No, I think they get worse.
And as I understand it, this girl is newly married in the first movie.
Yes.
And she picks the hide and seek card during family game night with the in-laws, and it turns out that's not the right card to pick because they are now going to try to sacrifice her to the devil.
Yep, exactly.
Just like my in-laws.
They did do that to you. That's true.
I thought this movie was really good in, like we said, bringing us up to speed. You don't really need to watch the first one if you don't want to. You want to just see the newest installment, and I liked it a lot. I liked the story. It is just a fun kind of, I wouldn't say gore fest, but our main character definitely goes through the ringer.
Yeah, a lot of exploding bodies. I haven't seen the first one since it first came out in theaters, so I can't really say which one I liked more. I would have to rewatch the first one.
Hey, we can do it. You mentioned the exploding bodies, so we get a lot of the kind of antagonists or enemies in this movie they're all like these satanic cult members, and I guess in this universe, the Abrahamic religions are correct because
Yep.
Satan is real. He makes a brief appearance at the end of the movie, but if you go against his rules when playing his hide and seek game, you will literally just explode
Which is very fun.
into a big pile of goop. And our main character and her sister, they're kind of co-protagonists, I would say, co-leads.
Yeah,
They
their
get splattered a
names
lot.
are Grace and Faith, which
Boo, I didn't realize that at the time.
that one dude, he was like, oh, Irish Catholics.
Yep.
when he heard their names together.
Yeah, but one of the bad guys he plays one of the doctors in The Pit. He was
Yeah.
really good. And then we got Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Love. They were very fun. They were really great antagonists. We had some other fun cast members. We love Nestor from Bates Motel Morning
Yes,
Show.
the man. We have Elijah Wood, Mr. Frodo himself.
Yep,
He's
your
like the game
favorite.
master.
I've said this before about Elijah Wood, but I really love that after doing a big franchise like Lord of the Rings, he takes these weird little roles.
He seems to be very fun with it.
Yes.
Like I said, he's not afraid to take on these kind of out-of-the-box roles. he's not always going to be a leading man. He plays these really good, very comedic, well played supporting roles. And I think that makes his performance, or that character's performance, that much more special, I suppose.
Even recently, he was so much fun in his I Love LA episode,
Yes.
playing himself. Anyone who can play such a wacky version of themselves, I feel, is a cool person.
Yes, if the cast of I Love LA seem like then they probably get along with you just fine. You're A-okay in my book. Elijah Wood played that essentially a little gremlin golem character in The Toxic Avenger. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he's really good in Ready or Not 2 Electric Boogaloo. He's like the satanic cult game master.
He's their lawyer.
Oh, he's the lawyer.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
He's got like the rule book with him the whole time.
He knows all the rules and
Very
the
kind
laws.
of stone-faced, kind of the whole time, enigmatic.
Exactly.
And really from the get-go, we get, is it Grace or Faith was our main character, like the original from the first movie?
Grace.
And so her sister shows up. They've been estranged for a long time, but they end up making a pretty good duo. And they go straight kind of from the hospital where she's recovering, having almost died, to the essentially assassins are right back after her. We get into it.
Yeah, they did have the cliche falling out reason of older sibling left toxic home to go to college, and now younger sibling is mad that they did something for themselves.
There's a lot of like abandonment issues.
Which I feel like we see that happen in a lot of things. I'm thinking most recently, we watched the show Sirens, and that was the whole plot of that. I guess I'm never a huge fan of that reasoning because I think it's silly, but I also don't have siblings, so...
It's a pretty well done trope, I would say, at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie was not going to break any molds. It's just a fun time. It's kind of just it's sort of a gore fest in that you get all the splattering, but not to say you're getting like a lot of like really bad, like up close, like practical.
No, they're not overly grotesque with it.
Compared to another movie we watched a little bit later with some of the cool practical, like gore effects. This is more silly with it, I would say.
Yes, this is a campy movie.
I had such a blast with this movie, and I think really because you don't have to take it too seriously, it's campy. The whole time, I'm just wondering, okay, what is our main character going to have to survive next? Because I would have just died of blood loss maybe a quarter of the way through.
Absolutely. I would have just laid down and given up.
We get these cult members and like families of who are now hunting after our two gals, Faith and Grace. And it's like if your person who's in the game dies, their next of kin has to like take over and try to become the hunter now.
Yeah, and whoever can kill her gets to be the head bitch in charge of the cult.
Yes.
And that literally means they control the world. We see an opening scene of the current head guy watching TV, and there's a war happening, and he just makes a phone call and says, ceasefire, call it off.
And the news headline goes to like breaking news, ceasefire called immediately.
Yeah.
I like that. These are like the oligarchical families.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they're satanic cult worshippers. This movie tickled me. I would say, is it maybe the funniest movie of all time? Of course not, but it had its lighter moments despite the kind of setting, and I think that's what made it fun for me. You get these ridiculous kind of action sequences of even Grace's deceased husband's ex-girlfriend is a member of the cult trying to like get revenge on her, and they just end up slugging it out back and forth. To Nestor is running around with a sniper rifle, and then I think someone has like a katana at some point. There's rocket launchers. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, they have really fun, unique weapons that they're running around with.
Nestor has his big sniper rifle, but he's a terrible shot, so he misses every time.
And there's a scene, you get that total eclipse of the heart needle drop.
It was so good, yes.
And I ascended.
I loved that, yes.
I love a stylish movie. I love a stylish sequence. And this had that.
And I think a big part of it is it had really good needle drops, just like you mentioned. This reminded me of season 1 of Beef a little bit.
Yeah.
you get these tender family moments, and then next scene it's a high energy like chase scene or fight scene, something like that. Keeps you guessing, but it doesn't kind of overstay its welcome, I suppose. I liked the pacing throughout this. Had a great time. I want to watch this again. It was fun.
Yeah.
I'll watch the first one now.
Yeah, we'll do a double feature.
This
sometime.
is a good like date night popcorn movie.
Oh, absolutely. This is for sure a popcorn movie.
As long as you're all right. Like this is of course a rated R movie. There's a little bit of gore and gunfights and satanic worship scenes where they're all in their culty robes and all that, doing that stuff.
Spoiler alert, the goat lives.
The goat does live. There's an adorable goat at the end. There's lots of
kneels.
There's lots of exploding bodies all over the place. I love the lengths our main character, Grace, and then her sister are also willing to go to get themselves out of these crazy situations, because it turns itself on its head pretty quickly and take some unexpected routes in this story, but it pays off pretty well, I think.
Yeah, unlike a lot of horror movies, these are competent protagonists.
Yes.
Even though they're dealing with blood loss, and I'm sure Grace hasn't eaten or slept in a while.
Girl, you've got stitches you must have been like ripping while running away in terror the whole time. That's really going to be my only critique, just to get out of the way. The only realistic thing, besides all the magic and exploding bodies and all that fun stuff, is, girl, you would have passed out or died way before any of the other stuff you end up going through.
Adrenaline, man.
Adrenaline is a hell of a thing.
Oh, one thing that they were doing that you first pointed out to me, and now every time I see it, I can't let it go. The families are signing their names in blood to start the competition.
Yeah.
And some of them are digging the knife right into the middle of their palm.
Oh, media loves portraying when you're making some sort of like blood oath or blood sacrifice, you're taking the knife right across your palm. No, that's the worst place. That's going to open continuously as you use your hand. Back of the hand, back of the arm, you're good.
I think someone did just the tip of their finger.
These folks clearly have never been part of a satanic ritual before, and it shows.
Yeah.
Amateurs. But yes, that with my other least favorite trope, someone gets shot by like a shotgun, for example, and launches into the air and goes flying. But it's fun. We saw a little bit of that on the series finale of Euphoria last night.
We did. I asked you if it was a realistic gunshot wound, and you said yes.
That was the one with Marshawn Lynch, where he gets shot in an area that hurts very badly, and he like flies up onto the stage. Then follows up with Mr. Alamo getting blasted by Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, that one.
That one was a little bit more realistic, I would say.
How'd you like Euphoria, since you brought it up?
Oh, spoiler alerts. She's dead. Finally. I was so happy. The agent of chaos has been eliminated. Rue is in the ground. I was not a fan.
I don't think that's what Sam Levinson wanted you to take from this.
I'm sorry, when you look across like what she's done all across all 3 seasons, she's just made everything shittier for everyone.
I'm not happy Rue died. I would have preferred other characters die.
Maybe is happy the right word? No, but does that seem to be the most logical conclusion to like the mess she's gotten herself in? Yes, of course.
My biggest takeaway is, why did we give Jules nothing to do?
Yes, this is our Euphoria kind of
Rant.
pivot. I guess we'll finish up Ready or Not real fast and we can dive back into Euphoria. I loved Ready or Not 2, Electric Boogaloo. I would say a few small tweaks, but otherwise, this is my movie of the year. 95%, 5 out of 5. That probably doesn't translate exactly, but it's what's working in my head.
I love that. I'm going to give this a 90%.
I don't know why. I think it was just I didn't take it too seriously, and I feel like I could just go back in and just watch it again and you can have fun with this movie, and I don't see that very often.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, Ready or Not 2, Here I Come has a 74%.
A 74? Oh, that's gone down then.
I think that's a little low.
Is 70 the threshold for certified, or 75?
It's 75, but this movie must have been 75 or above for a minute and then went below, but hasn't gone below 70. That's what
Got
gets your
it.
certified fresh revoked.
Revoked, okay. I can see, like, are critics going to love this movie? Probably not.
The
Am I a
audience
critic?
score
No.
is an 89%.
Oof.
So that's closer.
The audience is wrong. The audience is low.
It's low. I said 90 and they said 89, so
That's fair.
I feel in line with that. But yeah, critic score I feel like is a little low.
I think this was my new favorite movie of the year so far.
Yeah.
Kind of just unexpected. I didn't know anything about this franchise or anything going in. You don't have to, and it was fun.
I told you to pick which movie we should rent on VOD, and you picked this one because you said the poster was two girls with swords.
Yes, it's fun.
It is fun.
Yes, this is my favorite new movie of the year.
Best Picture nominee.
You know what? Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress. I don't know why we gender them. Best Stunts, Best Splodin.
I don't think Best Stunts is a category yet. Shame.
Makeup.
Oh yeah, makeup.
Could
Makeup's
do.
really good.
You never know. All right, back to our Euphoria pivot. I don't think this season was necessary.
I keep throwing out the silliest guesses for the way that shows are gonna end.
You do. We've ended a couple good shows recently.
And the silly guess has been right 3 times this week.
Too much. These writers are becoming too predictable.
I don't even think my guesses were, I think this is actually going to happen. I was just trying to joke around and throw something silly sounding out there. My guess here was, of course, Coleman is going to waltz into the strip club and just start blasting.
Guns a-blazing, yeah.
I didn't think they'd actually do it. I just thought I was making a joke.
He's like, my time of being a really good, like, group and counselor leader are done. Time to use the Second Amendment for what it was made for. That is incorrect. Do not listen to me.
Well, and then at the end of it, what was the point of that, to convert him to Christianity?
Yeah, he goes from the character Ali, he goes back to, I guess, his born name of Martin.
Yeah, I think it was Martin.
He, I guess, switches back to Christianity. We have that really awkward scene of he sees the ghost of Rue sitting at the other end of the table, and he's like, thanks, Rue. But for what?
Well, and then they imply that Rue was reincarnated as a baby cow.
Oh, yeah. Not directly, but they're like, yeah, this cow was born right around the same time she died. She's going to be a milk cow, just what she always wanted.
Well, I guess she wanted to go back to the homestead, and now she's back as a baby cow. Because I guess baby cows can't get addicted to drugs, so it'll probably be better.
Is that a challenge?
Isn't that a thing in some religions, that the highest form you can come back reincarnated as is a cow?
I don't know,
Isn't that why cows are sacred in some cultures?
I don't know, actually. I would love to come back as a cow, though. They're so cute.
They are cute.
The only story problem I had with season 2 of Euphoria, which I thought ended everything on a pretty good note,
Yeah, that
was
should have been the ending.
the big case of drugs that Rue had stolen from Lori.
Yeah, that was a big plot hole.
Because in season two, after what we've seen of Lori, we're like, okay, well, she's obviously going to like either die or have some horrible retribution from that.
Yeah, Lori's not going to let that go.
And I think if the entire story of Euphoria from beginning to end was just focused on Rue, this may have made a little bit more sense, but she is far from our only character that we had.
Yeah, like what was the point of Sydney Sweeney's stuff? Sounds like based on early reactions, they cut Jules's entire storyline, but still left in elements that just made it confusing. Like
you said, we had elements of Jules' story that, if had included, would have made some more sense for what was kept in. And then also, but we cut Jules' stuff to keep Sydney Sweeney's giant, bare-chested, breaking through the skyscraper scene.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It left me with some questions. Number 1, what the hell?
I just think Sam Levinson was doing his best Tarantino.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
And I don't care for Tarantino much in the first place, in a lot of ways. So, yeah, including something that comes up with Tarantino. And in the last episode of Euphoria, lines kept being said, and I kept looking at you and saying, I don't like that Sam Levinson wrote this particular line.
Exactly. When there is no writer's room, this is solely the creation of one person, more or less, at least the big beats of the story. Kinda makes me wonder, okay, where was his head at in some of these things?
Nepo babies.
I don't think they killed off enough main characters.
The snake thing got me with Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi had nothing to do.
No.
I guess now that he's an Oscar nominee, he said, I'm not doing that. I do have a theory that Sam Levinson was mad at certain actors and would just make them do really uncomfortable things.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like burying Zendaya in dirt for multiple days and locking Jacob Elordi in a box with a live snake.
Or this newest episode, Zendaya, you're gonna be tied and you're gonna be dragged by a horse.
Exactly.
But yes, season 3 of Euphoria, not worth the hype.
No, and I thought season 1 was good. I thought season 2 had some good elements. Season 3, no. We were really missing that Labyrinth score.
Yes. I think the soundtrack overall was lacking.
Hans Zimmer did not do a good job. I've never said that before in my life.
I loved the actor and the character of Alamo.
Yes.
That was great.
Yeah.
His whole kind of setup would have made sense in a spin-off show, but not in an actual, this is the last season of Euphoria.
We just took what we had in the first 2 seasons and completely changed the style and the tone.
Yes. Great way to end a show.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, this is our little pivot reviewing some shows. Euphoria, I'm glad you're dead. Not worth the hype.
Officially not coming back for a 4th season. I thought it might because it makes so much money.
That was it. Hope anyone listening wasn't too invested.
Nah.
Well,
anyone invested has already seen it.
Yeah, they know what it's about. This is why we mainly review movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to it.
So, jumping into 1991.
Yes, we're done with our new releases for this month.
This
week, excuse me.
And this is our first 1991 movie. We watched LA Story, written by and starring Steve Martin.
I had never heard of this movie.
I hadn't either. I do really enjoy Steve Martin, though. He's always fun.
Yes. I've always enjoyed his style of comedy.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed that his love interest in this movie was played by his wife at the time.
Yes, always a good touch.
He had a role written in for Sarah Jessica Parker to make out with him.
A little questionable, you know.
He's was he the only writer on this?
Yes.
Yeah, and then you write that the beautiful woman is putting hands all over you, compromising positions.
He starts the movie with a girlfriend. He ends up trying to date his friend's girlfriend, who's played by his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the midst of all that, he starts dating the 23-year-old retail worker, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah. Hey, it was the 90s. Different time. That's not a good excuse.
This movie, to me, it was a comedy.
Yes. Not a bad comedy either. That had me laughing a few times.
Yeah, because Steve Martin is very funny. He always gives a great comedic performance. But I do think a lot of the humor here was dated.
For sure.
A lot of this stuff was probably really funny in 1991, but now LA and everything, it's so different. It just didn't ring true anymore. It's a dated movie.
It was reminding me at the beginning of Edward Scissorhands, and you see the portrayal of sort of a cookie cutter style lifestyle for many individuals living. I think it was more like outskirts of LA where we originally show, but everyone is just kind of a different version of the same thing in their lives and lifestyles where they live.
Yeah, there's a lot of commuter humor.
Yes.
Which I thought rang true for areas outside of LA in modern times.
It sets its tone very quickly when we have the running gun battle between drivers on the LA highways.
That happens here every day.
It does. Road rage is a scary thing.
I did think it was funny when he was going to a neighbor's house and he got in his car and just drove down one spot to the next house
it's
over.
like 40 feet away.
Because we don't walk in LA.
No. This really is...
Sort of a comedic love letter to LA, I suppose,
Yeah.
in a way.
Oh, he also had the female friend who was attractive, who he went and shot videos at the museum with. He would just go to the museum with roller skates on and skate around the museum and
Looked
bother
fun.
people. You'd get kicked out.
Steve Martin is kind of a menace in this movie because he can get away with it, or he's allowed to get away with it a lot of the times. Is it always right? No, but it's funny.
If this character were played by anyone other than Steve Martin, I would have hated him. The only reason I didn't hate this man was because Steve Martin is so charming.
Like, if this was Brad Pitt, we'd just be screaming
Hatred.
at the the TV.
Hatred.
I would just turn it off, actually.
Yeah.
We get is sort of a love story with some, I don't know if I'd call it supernatural elements.
Yeah,
Steve-
there's a fantastical element there.
Fantastically, that's a better word. Steve Martin encounters essentially a sentient
Traffic sign?
Yeah.
One with like the changing bulbs so they can update it for like,
lane closures and stuff, and
it starts giving him life advice.
It wants hugs.
It wants hugs. The sign doesn't know what it is, but it thinks it was bagpipes at some point, and now is reincarnated as a sign because it starts playing music at some point.
And I believe it.
Why not? They have Steve Martin was the weatherman as his job, so they show him being wacky and just kind of kooky for that. Reminded me of some like Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura-esque kind of shenanigans, I suppose.
Yeah, and they establish he's not very good at his job because he'll just pre-record the weather sometimes and say, it's sunny, it's LA, it's always sunny.
Cut to a downpour. Then we get Steve Martin. We get a little bit of what his life looks like. He goes out with his friend group. I like the guy. He's the dad in Saltburn.
Richard E. Grant, this is the most subdued performance I have ever seen him in.
It is. He has his longer hair and is a lot younger here, so I didn't recognize him at first, but
Once you realize it's him, he's got that just look and style that I thought he played his character very well. He's
got a pretentious British thing going.
he does. He's like Steve Martin's love interest's like ex-boyfriend, I think.
ex-husband, was that it?
Ex-husband
Okay.
who's trying to get back together with her, and they're still going on dates and hooking up and all that stuff. They're not fully broken off from each other.
Right.
but her and Steve Martin have like made eye contact and are now interested in each other.
Even though he has a long-term girlfriend.
Relationships are treated as a little superfluous sometimes in this story. It like I said, it's trying to show like a satirical version of like a typical LA person, I guess.
Yeah. In those first scenes with his girlfriend, she was getting really mad at him, and I could tell the movie was just trying to make the audience say, oh, she's a bitch, I don't care what happens to her. But the way he was treating another woman, she had every right to be mad. And then they make it to where for years she's been having sex with his manager, so I guess it's okay that he cheated on her.
Yes.
Some actions and motivations are questionable. Everyone here is flawed. Some of the messaging, like you said, in this movie might be a little dated. That's okay. We go into this with open eyes.
Yeah. I guess my biggest issue was that the humor was dated.
Some of the stunts and more like physical humor reminded me of elements of like The Naked Gun, Airplane, things like that.
Yeah, okay.
Little slapsticky, some dry humor here and there, some dark comedy.
Him trying to get around traffic at the beginning was funny, going through the alleys and the backyard.
Yes, cutting through people's lawns, and they're so used to it, they're just waving at each other.
There is an element of absurdism here.
Very much so, very much. I think that's what helped me enjoy this movie more.
It's not meant to be serious at all, really.
No, it's let's call it Steve Martin kind of flexing his comedic muscles on this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, the unserious tone made it really hard for me to be mad at this movie at all. I wasn't even really bored. I just kind of watched it and finished and said, Okay, that was a movie.
Fair enough. This was funny enough to get a few good laughs out of me, and I think there's a difference between when something is funny and you just get sort of I breathed through my nose a little extra hard versus I actually chuckled at certain parts, and this was pretty funny for me. Like I said, even if it's kind of just slapsticky, it can get me sometimes. I'm a Stooges fan, what can I say? But yeah, not bad at all. Maybe one of the funnier things, at least I can think of in recent memory, outside of Only Murders in the Building, that I've really enjoyed Steve Martin's kind of humor. I'll give this 81%.
I'm going to give this slightly above average, 55%.
Oh, 55. Okay. So average for you is like right a dead 50.
Yeah.
I get it.
I probably wouldn't watch this again. If I were with someone and they really, really wanted to watch it, I wouldn't be upset about having to watch it again, but I would never choose to watch this again on my own accord.
I could watch this again if I'm like stuck at my parents' house on Thanksgiving and everyone says, let's put on something funny that we'll all enjoy. I would put a comedy like this on.
That's fair. And it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. It's not that doesn't make it a terrible movie. It's accessible, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's accessible.
I think if you're younger than say like 25, this
might not hit.
Yeah, might not hit the same way.
Because it is dated.
The 90s, so long ago. It's so close.
Because I don't even see this stuff and think of it as something I remember when I was a kid. I see it and think more of, I remember seeing these things referenced when I was a kid. It's almost a little too old for me.
Did this get any nominations or awards? I had never heard of this movie before.
No.
Okay. Hey, just a decent comedy. Check it out. I'd say just for that, it's worth the hype for me.
Well, you gotta know the Rotten Tomatoes score first.
Phooey.
The Rotten Tomatoes score is a 91%. That is much too high. Not worth the hype. Not even a little bit.
What?
Too high.
Hey, the people disagree.
That's the critics. The people say 75%.
I get to say when the people are wrong. If I really like the movie and the score is bad, I'm like, they don't know what they're talking about.
Fair enough.
So yes, we have one not worth the hype and one worth the hype. So
even split so
far. Figure it out yourself.
And our third movie for this week.
So our last movie, also from 1991. I was very pleased to see this one. I was a bit surprised it came out so early in the year because this movie really did well at the Oscars. Silence of the Lambs.
The classic. One of my favorite horror movies of all time, even though I've never seen it all complete in one sitting.
You're a clip guy.
I'm a clip guy. Growing up, when I would be bored, I still do it a lot now. You just start down a YouTube rabbit hole, and especially with clips now on the phone app, just like TikTok, I just start going through movie channels and finding. So piece by piece, scene by scene, I got Silence of the Lambs pretty much all the way through. It was the beginning of the movie I hadn't quite seen before.
I first watched this movie on a plane.
Awesome.
And I do think the version we watched was just a tad bit edited for content.
A little nudity.
We watched it on Pluto TV, and maybe I'm wrong, because it was a while since I saw this movie on the plane, so maybe I'm misremembering. But I could have sworn that scene where Buffalo Bill is dancing around and putting on his makeup and everything.
Like filming himself and things like that, yeah.
I could have sworn when I was on that plane, I saw him full penis out, take it, and tuck it all the way under. This one, we didn't see a full penis tuck. We just saw a little bit of a hand movement.
This is going to be my first not safe for work search on my new phone because I'm looking this up right after that.
And then saw just the bare. So it wasn't even like it was trying to not show any nudity. We still saw the little bush.
Yes.
But we just didn't see the penis, which I could have sworn was in the version I watched on the plane.
Get your head out of the gutter.
I remember it because there were all these kids sitting behind me. And I was like, I really hope they're not looking over right now.
Now, did watching this on a plane for the first time, did that make the movie scarier? And vice versa, did that make the plane ride scarier?
No,
If I was a kid, that would have terrified me.
I was in college.
You're too tough.
Movies don't really scare me much anymore. It takes a lot for a movie to scare me. I'm pretty desensitized, but I thought it was a really great movie when I watched it on the plane, and I thought it was a really great movie when I watched it now. It was probably almost 10 years ago that I watched that.
This movie holds up so well.
It does. This is a movie that is not dated.
Not at all. You pointed out a lot of detail in the story and what's portrayed that I'd never picked up on before.
It's so baked into the entire movie. The sexism that Clarice is dealing with, being a female FBI student trainee.
And a big part of that in the movie is it's a lot of nonverbal, like glances, eye contact, a character's feeling like awkward and anxious, kind of looking down or looking away.
And it's where the camera chooses to go and how the editing is done. It's very good. Like, for example, there's a scene where she's outside running at school with her friend, and they're just talking about, work. And this group of guys runs past them, and they don't say anything to the girls. They're not catcalling them, but they just rubberneck.
Each and every one's looking back over their shoulder as they're passing them. Yep.
And every time she's trying to get something done and be a professional, these men are leering at her, making comments to her that they wouldn't be saying to another man.
Going out of their way to make her feel out of place, possibly. Like, Jodie Foster is very small, so you'll have scenes where she's surrounded by these big dudes towering over her, and you can feel it a lot.
Exactly. And that's just so well done. It's through the entire movie.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's baked in.
I think it's very impressive that a male director, Jonathan Demme, was able to convey this so well.
Hey, great job.
And as far as Oscars go, Best Picture winner, Best Actor winner, Best Actress winner, Best Director winner, Best Adapted Screenplay winner, and nominated for Best Sound and Best Editing.
I wonder how I would like the book on this, I've never read any Hannibal Lecter.
That would be interesting.
I don't know if it's a single series or maybe just a collection of different authors or whatnot, but I feel like a lot of the movies we see that are based on novels or books do not work very well.
Yeah.
Not the case at all with this.
The way that everything is structured here, the mystery, and when we get information, because actually, I guess it's not really even a mystery because we know exactly who did it. We're getting interspersed cuts with Buffalo Bill, but it's so well paced.
Mm-hmm.
And the tension that's built.
Oh, it's so good.
It's incredible.
I've seen certain scenes in this movie, 4 or 5 times, and even the ending scene where he's watching her in the night vision gets my heart pounding.
Oh, yeah, when you hear and it's in the sound too, you hear that click of the night vision going on.
Yes.
It's chilling. I love this movie.
It's paced so well. Like you said, it treats the mystery in the right way, and by that I mean it tells you just enough, but it also is able to surprise you.
Yes, because we know it's Buffalo Bill, but then why did Buffalo Bill do it? And we're learning more information about him and the extent of how awful what he's doing is. I know a big criticism of this movie is that it's a bad portrayal of trans people. They state very clearly in the movie that Buffalo Bill is not trans.
Exactly. I feel like they clear it up in a pretty straightforward manner, like you said.
Yeah, which honestly, I'm surprised that they even did that in 1991 and made it a point to say trans people aren't violent.
I really appreciate now, having finally watched this movie from beginning to end, how much Jodie Foster was willing to go through to become this character.
Yeah.
She has that accent the whole time and doing a lot of physical work in this as well.
I love that she won this Oscar because it's an incredibly subtle performance,
It
in
is.
my opinion. Clarice is not a showy person, so it's not a showy role. Everything is really in the subtext, and Jodie Foster just nails it the whole time.
Everyone is drawn to her,
Yeah.
even Lecter's attention.
And their scenes together are so good. The way
Yeah.
they play off each other.
That's going to be his most remembered performance, of course. It
Absolutely.
already is. I'll say, picking at some of the details of the plot. So in the story, her boss, like that Jack Crawford guy, he's in the story a little bit.
Yeah.
They point out a little bit. Maybe does he have like a thing for her? Why does he
Yes.
keep singling out this gal who's not even an agent yet? She's still a
He
student.
wants to have sex with her.
I think they needed to focus on that a little bit
Oh,
more.
I thought it was very clear.
They touched on it, I know. I think this rewatch really helped me identify that more.
But yeah, Silence of the Lambs, it's a classic. It deserved every Oscar it won. I think it should have won that editing Oscar and the sound Oscar as well. It should have won all the Oscars it was nominated for. I loved this movie. 5 out of 5. I'm going to give this
Oh yeah.
a 98%.
That might be your highest. Maybe?
I've given 100% before.
Okay.
It loses 2 points for calling women who aren't fat. That's what it loses 2 points for.
Fair enough. Ooh, let's see. I don't know. I want to give this a 99.
99.
99%. I think a movie that for me would be like 100% is, man, I can't wait to watch that again. Silence of the Lambs isn't quite going to be that for me. I need to take a quick break after watching something like that, but
If I find a cool copy, it's going on the shelf.
Absolutely. It's such a well done movie. It's one of the best horror movies ever made. I think just the terror that was instilled by Hannibal in this movie is so good, and that they never made any sequel movies to try to tie up the story. Wink, wink. Really cements this.
And the critics gave this a 95%.
Not bad.
Definitely worth the hype. And my ranking for this week, I'm going Silence of the Lambs, Ready or Not, LA Story.
Ooh. I'm going to put Ready or Not at the top because I've already seen Silence of the Lambs, most of it anyways. Like I said, I've seen almost every scene just from clips alone. Ready or Not 2 is just a fun ride. And that's a good kind of palate cleanser for me every so often. So I'm going to put Ready or Not 2, Silence, and then LA Story. Not a bad week at all. I had fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
This
as
was a good
well.
week.
It was a good week. And with that,
watch these movies. Don't watch Euphoria.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Drink some water and have a great day.
Goodbye.
See ya.